Let's break down the concepts of traditional media and new media and explore their relationships. Traditional media refers to conventional means of mass communication that have been used for decades, even centuries before the advent of the internet and digital technology. Types of traditional media: print media. Example of print media: newspapers, magazines, books, brochures, and flyers. Another example of traditional media is broadcast media. Example of broadcast media: television and radio. Another example of traditional media is outdoor media. Example of outdoor media: billboards, posters, and transit advertising. Another example of traditional media is film. Example of film movies shown in theaters. Characteristics of traditional media: one-way communication. Information flows from the media to the audience without direct interaction. Another characteristic of traditional media is limited audience participation. Audiences consume content without being able to respond or interact. Another characteristic of traditional media is regulated content subject to governmental and organizational regulations and standards. Another characteristic of traditional media is established credibility. Long-standing institutions often seen as reliable and authoritative sources. New media. New media refers to digital forms of communication that have emerged with the rise of the internet and digital technology. Types of new media is social media. Example of social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Another types of new media is websites and blogs. Example of websites and blogs are online articles, personal blogs, and professional websites. Another types of new media is streaming services. Example of streaming services are platforms like Netflix, YouTube, Spotify. Another types of new media are mobile apps. Example of mobile apps are news apps, communication apps like WhatsApp and Messenger. Another types of new media is podcast. Example of podcasts are digital audio or video files available for download or streaming. Characteristics of new media: two-way communication, interactive, allowing for feedback and engagement from the audience. Another characteristics of new media is user-generated content. Anyone can create and share content. Another characteristics of new media is on-demand access content available anytime, anywhere. Another characteristics of new media is global reach, accessible to anyone with an internet connection, transcending geographical boundaries. Relationships between traditional media and new media. Convergence: traditional media outlets have adopted new media technologies to reach broader audiences. For example, newspapers have online editions and TV channels offer streaming services. Another relationships between traditional media and new media is complementarity. Traditional and new media often complement each other. Traditional media can drive traffic to digital platforms and vice versa. Another relationships between traditional media and new media is competition. New media has disrupted traditional media business models, leading to competition for audience attention and advertising revenue. Another relationships between traditional media and new media is integration. Many media organizations use a hybrid approach, integrating traditional and new media strategies to maximize their reach and impact. Another relationships between traditional media and new media is adaptation. Traditional media has adapted by adopting digital strategies, such as using social media for news dissemination and engaging with audiences. Conclusion: traditional media and new media are interconnected in many ways, with each influencing and shaping the other. While traditional media provides established credibility and long-standing formats, new media offers interactive, on-demand, and globally accessible content. Together, they create a dynamic media landscape that caters to a diverse range of audience preferences and needs.